Hey guys, it's Iain here from Calmer Lifestyles, and welcome to yet another exciting video where I'm going to be talking about my upcoming webinar on mastering the art of flirtation. Now, I've been receiving a lot of emails from guys who want to sign up for my webinar. So let me just remind you that in order to sign up, all you need to do is click on that link, okay, in the video's description box right down below in order to sign up, okay? And remember that spaces are running out fast. So the quicker that you sign up, the more likely you are that you'll get a spot. Now, I would love to accommodate everyone, but unfortunately, we can only host a certain number of guys. Also, let me just thank all the guys that have already signed up, because the huge number is so inspiring and motivating for me, and I'm so psyched as we near the launch of the webinar. So one of the main topics that we're going to tackle at the webinar is communication. Now, communication with women can be challenging, and it becomes even more so if you like her. Now, we know the importance of communication and its ability to help us to network and to make quality friends in areas such as dating. Now, how you communicate with others will determine how people will treat you. So most people, who have not mastered the art of communication often feel a bit misunderstood and taken for granted. And this can affect your personality indirectly without you even knowing it. But most people describe their personalities from other people's perspectives. Now, when people think that you are easy to talk to and attractive, you take that as part of your personality. And the same applies when people think that you are boring and they think you're lame. Now, I recently got an email that touched me as a guy because I know exactly how it feels. A guy called Greg sent me an email, and this is what he said.
Hi Iain, my name is Greg and I'm 29 years old and I have a boring personality, and it seems like I repulse every woman that I try to make a connection with. Now, I've been told that my stories and jokes are just too lame. Now, I've tried online dating, but things are not working out for me. So how could I possibly get better with conversations when I'm boring by nature? Can you help me transform into a guy that women want to attract with? Now, I know there are a lot of guys out there who think and they feel like Greg. You think that you couldn't make a woman laugh her lungs out or use conversation to create an intimate emotional connection. Now, I used to be that guy, okay? Most of the guys who met me before my first year at university, they can tell you that I was actually the biggest loser when it came to women. I used to treat my dates like an Interpol interrogation without even realizing it. And I used to face those awkward, silent moments where I don't know what else to say whilst the lady just waits for me to engage her. There was even a date where I didn't know what to say and I ended up talking about religion. Okay, let's just say that I learned the hard way of the things that you're never supposed to talk about when you're on that first date. And after I met my mentor at the time, I started trying out new strategies and techniques that really helped me so much. Okay, I started going out much more and I started to meet new women. And at first the techniques and strategies seemed a bit unnatural because I wasn't used to it. But with time, I learned to integrate it with my personality, and I made my conversations flow so naturally. And once I'd mastered the different techniques of making my conversations engaging and exciting, I had no problem taking women home. So communication techniques and strategies are vast, and it's impossible to be perfect in all of them, okay? So over the years, I've learned to help men master communication skills that are very much in line with their personalities. Now, you need to think fast and talk smart to avoid being cornered or even cornering yourself. Whether you're using cold approach or even online dating, communication is still the same. Okay, the woman wants to feel some sort of connection with you or to be able to just let you in. And if you're not a funny guy, it's very challenging to incorporate humor as your communication technique. However, look, there are many other ways that you can make a woman laugh and still make an emotional connection with them. So, with the right set of communication techniques, Greg came out as an interesting guy and he can make a quality emotional connection. Now, women like to have fun, and they also like to have that deep connection and those deep conversations. Deep conversations will help you build a personal connection with the woman that you're talking to, and it will make you feel like you've known each other for years after just for talking for a few minutes. Now, this is an aspect that very much turns women on because it makes her feel like you just get her. However, for you to be able to have an in-depth conversation, you have to set an environment for it and you have to build towards it. Now, the difference between a guy who's mastered the art of conversation and a guy who hasn't is how they handle a deep conversation. So deep conversation is like deep sea diving, okay? You want to reach the rock bottom, but you don't dive and you don't rush to the rock bottom, okay? Experienced guys will make sure that they stay on course, but they will divert off course occasionally to make the environment favorable to the woman. Okay, so one of the most challenging tasks that I've ever faced was a guy who considered himself to be boring and he wanted to be more exciting and more engaging with women. And the guy was also a stammerer, okay, which made it even more challenging. However, when I spent time with him, I found that he had a great sense of humor. And we worked together, we incorporated his personality to the various communication techniques. And after only a few weeks, we went out to see how far he had come. I actually wasn't sure if he could do it, but he surprised both himself and both me when he got a number and he was promised a second meet. Now, every guy has that spark in them, and you need a guy who has been there and who can recognize that spark in you and to help you bring it out. Because women speak what I sometimes call womanese, okay, which can be very challenging for us because we as guys are much more logical than emotional. And you've probably heard that the saying that women talk from the heart whilst men speak from the head. Now, there is some truth to a lot of these analogies, and that's why men find it challenging to communicate with women. So in my webinar, we're going to explore all of the dimensions of conversation with women. We're going to go deeper into the understanding that women want into a conversation. And we'll learn how to know when to take things to the next level in a conversation. Okay, we'll also understand how flirtation works and how to build it up to create attraction and even that sexual tension. We will even decode communication barriers and we'll understand the techniques that have been used for centuries to get women where men want in a conversation. Now, sometimes to get a clear perspective, you have to really look in the rearview mirror. And I have been looking at the rearview mirror and analyzing the trends for years so that I can give you a functional solution.
That is why in my webinar, I'm really aiming to give you guys a tremendous amount of success with women. Now, since communication is a two-way road, we need to see things from a different angle. How can you know if you're losing a woman in a conversation or if your flirtation skills are even working? How do you close a conversation like a pro? While most men think that, it's difficult to understand women, I find it really easy. It's easier for you to tell what an emotional person is thinking rather than a logical person. And emotion cannot be hidden, and women have these telltale signs all over them. However, look, you need to know what you're looking for in order to find it. So those are some of the things that we will be looking at during the webinar. And we will also eliminate the chances of confusion by learning and really understanding how to decode whatever we see. Now, we are going to cover a lot on flirting and communication with women. You don't want to miss this opportunity if you want to create an irresistible and an interesting impression on her. Now, at the end of my previous webinar, I received a few emails from guys who told me that they tried to sign up, but they couldn't. And the reason being is that, look, they waited far too long and the spaces were all filled out, okay? We then increased the capacity, but look, I still feel that I will get those same sad emails once again. So look, if you haven't signed up already, this is your time, okay? You have to sign up. It's really simple and it's absolutely free. Now, all you need to do is simply click on that link in the video's description right down below. Now, remember that we will also have a Q&A session where, we can talk one-on-one and tackle any communication and flirtation issues that you might be facing. And like always, look, I'm excited to meet the guys who have already signed up. It is going to be an awesome event. All right, guys, this is sadly all from me today. And look, thank you so much for watching my video, and do stay tuned as I'll be revealing much more very soon. Now, I'm Ian Miles and I shall see you at the webinar. you.